Okay, so this might be for some people a super mind-blowing topic, and for some people they're like, yeah, and obviously there are going to be people in the middle and people with a different kind of response than what I already listed. If you're on a healing journey, it's really easy to waste your time with people who are not people. And unfortunately, a lot of these people who are not people are in your family. They could even be your own parents. So who am I talking about? You ever notice when someone tells you the same story again and again and again? And it may not even be a memory thing. It's almost like a cat chasing its tail or a dog chasing its tail. It's kind of like they seem to be limited. Like their pleasure is some sort of strange programmed feedback loop, And a genuine connection is not possible, period. Maybe you'd like to think that you can pass some good times with these people, but they're not capable of really understanding all the input. Do you understand the kind of person I'm talking about? You might even go, wow, I'm like very obviously smarter than this person based on the way they think. And it may not be because they think a certain way about like math and science or like something a little bit more logical. It might be like how dumb they are about certain aspects of their lives, if that makes sense. They can be, let's say, fanatically devotional about their religion. They might be intellectually smart and have a PhD, but their fanatic devotion, right? I'm right. That kind of narrow-mindedness might be a little scary. So this is what I mean about like, kind of like maybe they seem a little dumb. Like you can see beyond what they can see. Does this make sense? And it can be slightly more subtle, like your mom just can't see the point you're trying to make, right? Or just can't understand you, this kind of thing. It feels as if your view or your life is wider and their view and their life is more narrow. And they're very addicted. And it doesn't have to be something like they're addicted to heroin, It can be. But it's more like they're addicted to work. They're just doing this thing, they're doing this thing. They're the kind of person who likes to keep busy. They're always like in action, maybe. This is not every single one of the kind of person I'm talking about, but it can be. They're always in action. So they're always like in their mind. They're producing, But what I would say is there's like a profound lack of creative spark in this person because creativity comes from being alive. And something like being a fanatical devotee of a religion or a guru is someone who can't think their own thoughts. And this is really important if you want to separate between who's a real person, who's not. So there's a lot of people out there who aren't really people. They look like people. They might have even given birth to you, but they're lacking something inside, something really fundamental. And so let's say they even are into spirituality. What are they going to do? They're probably going to be very devoted to a teacher. And whatever they tell you is a repetition of what they heard from their teacher. They can't have original thoughts. Or they're really devoted to their lineage, or they're really devoted to some kind of practice that has a really long lineage. So their yoga practice, their meditation practice, or their chanting practice, they have some kind of practice that has a really long lineage, and they feel happy being a part of this lineage. They can't, let's say, originate their own lineage. That would never, ever, ever, ever happen. So someone who's like a follower like this, good candidate for not being a real person. And, who's to decide who for sure is or is not a real person? That you may feel very triggered and be rejecting what I'm saying altogether, in which case you probably turn off the video, so whatever. What I want to point out is that you'd be wasting time on your healing journey if you're trying to heal a relationship with someone like this. If you're trying to heal your relationship with someone like this, they're not even a real person. So it's like you're trying to heal your relationship with a doll or trying to heal your relationship with a robot. It's just not going to happen. So I'd say cut your losses and move on. This might induce a different kind of mourning or difficult experience because you have to realize that whatever you thought was true was not true. This can be an ultimately liberating experience. For some people, that means leaving certain relationships. And this might be a process. But if you keep thinking that there's a chance, that there's hope, because that person is just like you, because you're real and you assume that everyone else on earth is real, including this person, right? But they seem to just not get it. And they never will, is what I'm saying, because it's beyond their programming. Understanding you is beyond their programming. So what you want is sort of like a fantasy of your unhealed inner child. So you won't be able to get it on the external with them. You have to give it to yourself on the internal with you. Okay. Thanks for listening to this one. This might have been a little bit difficult. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.